suggest aspiring leaders should position themselves in the employee experience space?
It's really around walk a mile in the shoes of others. I know that seems to be a bit of a cliche, but it is around that. It's about understanding where others are coming from in order to make the best possible decision.
Yeah.
Because you don't necessarily make the right decision if you only come from one frame of mind. Yeah. Understanding where someone is coming from and their motives behind why it is that they need something different, that's important. I mean, we've seen many companies where leaders are doing exceptionally well driving results, but driving results not the only thing that you need to do. That's one of the outputs that you would get if you ensure that your basics are in place, and your basics being, like I spoke about before, around communication, empathy, and bringing others together. And so you really need to understand, and also don't be afraid to say no. I mean, those are, people tend to be quite afraid to say no and say yes to everything. You can't be everything to everyone.
Yeah.
Know where your strengths are and know where it is that you need to take others along with you, and learn to say no at times.
I love that.
Also, be optimistic. All hope is not lost. If you're looking at like a rocky terrain as an example, everybody needs to go through it, but there are different cars that have different ways of doing it. Can't go through the rocky terrain in a beach, in a beach buggy. You're going to get stuck along the way. But if you have the right 4x4, that's the tool you need. So what types of tools are you gathering in your arsenal in terms of getting through a rocky terrain? Because everyone has the same terrain. It's just really around what are you willing to bring with you in terms of skills, expertise, competencies, capabilities that will get you through where you need to be.
How do you build your own 4x4? Okay.
Build your 4x4. If it's rocky. If it's sandy, it's going to be a beach buggy.
Absolutely. What is the one thing, if you could tell people that are listening, one thing that they should take away and implement today, what is that one thing?
I might just have more than one thing, but to start off with is really be yourself. Be yourself, because everyone else is taken. You don't need to try and emulate someone else. You can learn lessons from what it is that they've experienced, but being authentically you is the thing that will make the difference. Because I've seen a lot of people who try to be like others, and they don't get it right because, well, you don't live the same life. You don't know what's happening when they walk out the door. So just be authentically you. And also, you sort of don't be afraid of pulling through the experiences that you've had, because your experience is also an experience. If you are a leader, it doesn't mean that you suddenly have this rose petal lined experience in work or in your organization. You really need to focus on what has been also your experience and how do you make changes based on that, and the good or the bad, and how do you enhance the good. So yeah, two lessons or two takeaways.
I think that's huge, because I think that often people feel that their experience does lack a validity almost. So I think that's a really powerful message, actually. Thank you. And how can our listeners connect with you? What's the best platform? LinkedIn?
LinkedIn, that's the one. I think it's probably one of the best networking platforms for business. So yeah, connect with me via LinkedIn. Happy to share, happy to chat. Yeah, and live your best authentic life.
Thank you so much, Anita. I really appreciate your time today. And yeah, I've written down a whole lot of things. Thank you. I really enjoyed that, and I learned a lot.
Thank you so much, Sally, for this experience.